Hello and welcome. This is a Centrex software demo on the syndication platform here at Centrex Software. Let's go ahead and get started. Here at Centrex Software, we are a large ecosystem of fintech products and services from CRM, LOS, servicing portfolios with payment processing, digital wallets, mobile apps. And one of the products that we have here at Centrex Software is the way for a servicer to manage their syndication portfolio or syndication software. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into software. No matter what, you have to have in the Centrex software is a contact. Okay, so we always start with a contact on file, and that is essentially a borrower. Okay, so if I come to the contacts tab, I've got different ways to manage my contacts, and I can come into a specific contact, which would be a business owner and a borrower. I can come into advances and or loans. Let's go into advances. I am going to go into a particular advance. And on this advance, you have a tab here called syndication. Okay, so in syndication, what you have the ability to do for this particular deal is associate all the syndicates you want on file, their level of participation, which will automatically spit out a ratio of participation, a management fee, any commission override, any other fees you want to charge the syndicate, and then over here on the far right is the total due via wire transfer. We also have something called syndicate waterfall grouping. If you want to group syndicates into different groups, those syndicates can be waterfalled group 1, group 2, group 3, and it pays out 100% of the RTR in that group until it goes to the next group. Okay, you can also choose the credit gateway you want to be paying out those syndicates within the software, and then post-funding as syndicates start getting paid, you can kind of see some basic report at this particular deal, what these syndicates have been paid on this particular deal. Okay, now if I come down to payments and auto drafting has been turned on, okay, this will automatically draft according to this particular deal, $225 every single week on Mondays for 100 weeks. Okay, that is the calculator for this particular deal. So as payments start to come to the software and as debits start to clear, our system will automatically produce the syndication credit depending on the syndicates that are within the software platform. Our system pays out the net. So as a debit clears, a syndicate credit will be associated to that debit, pay out that syndicate minus any servicing fees. Okay, so the servicing fees never leave the servicer's bank account, and you can account for that in your reports. Okay, anytime you want to do a slow pay or a mod, the borrower or the merchant can't afford the $225 per week, you can come in here to override payments, and you can override those payments, and your syndicates will only get paid out based on cleared debit. So if the cleared debit is much lower than the normal debit, it doesn't matter. It'll take that level of participation and associate that credit to that syndicate from that cleared debit. Okay, there's a lot of different settings you have on how you pay out syndicates, when you pay out syndicates, but at the end of the day, you can associate each syndicate on a deal-by-deal level, right? And that will pay out each one of those syndicates as debits start clearing the software within the platform. Okay, what you have the ability to do is come into the admin tab, come into the companies tab, and this is where you would add a syndicate company in the software, right? So I would click on add company. Once you add that company, you can see all the different types of companies you have in the software right here. Here is an example syndicate. Let's go ahead and jump into the syndicate. You can see all of the EIN information, all the basic data that you want to have on file for the syndicate. Here's the users that can log into what we call a syndicate portal, so they can see all the reports and remittances. And then, of course, you can click on payees, and you can put a bank account on file for this particular syndicate so the system knows what bank account to associate that ACH credit to. Okay, when you add a syndicate into the software platform, they now have the ability to log in and look at basic reports. Okay, that screen looks very similar to this screen right here. They won't have all the tabs. They'll just be able to see your logo. They can see some basic stats here, and then they can see all the deals they participated on. They can jump into a particular deal, see all the data points and all the transactions on this particular deal for anything that they've invested in. Okay, now if your syndicates are using digital wallet technology, so if I come to the Advances tab, I click on Fund Management, you've given your syndicates digital wallets. You can now see all the liquidity within those wallets, and you can transfer funds in between those wallets to go fund out your borrowers. And then as payments come back, you can pay out your syndicates via digital wallet. Okay, so if I come to the Advances tab and I come back into this syndicate portal, you can see here a syndicate will have what we call an escrow balance. They can click on this balance, see the ledger, and then they can always deposit funds into their wallet, or they can withdraw funds out of their wallet if you wish to do so as well. Okay, now to track accounting and reconciliation, we have something called the accounting tab. You can build any customized reports you want in the accounting tab. Once you click on that report, it's going to run the filters and it's going to show you data and information. If you want to group by a certain column, you can enable grouping, which I've already done. Click on business name, and now this will group all the data by that column and give you aggregates at the bottom of that group. Okay, so whether you're paying out syndicate credits or doing debits, remittances, you can come in here and you can see those different types of reports. You can even run what we call a summary report, uncheck or check certain boxes, and you can see those reports. If you want to get more dynamic with your syndicate reports, you can come to the Reports tab. We have a lot of out-of-the-box reports. Our favorite is our Report Builder. It's an object-based report builder. I can customize the columns here. I can bring in certain data points. I can create pivots, and then I can also see my data from a chart perspective. Okay, so maybe you want to run some basic reports on syndicates over time. You have the ability to do that. Okay, so a lot of great syndication technology built within the Centrex software platform. If you're a funder or a servicer and you're paying out syndicates, from syndicate portals to syndicate digital wallets, a lot of great technology for a servicer. This is a Centrex software demo of the syndication software within the Centrex software platform.